Former Virginia Tech player benched after refusing to kneel during BLM riots gets $100,000 settlement. Let it be said, my friends, stand up. Believe in yourself. We got your back. This former Virginia Tech soccer player filed a lawsuit alleging she was being benched for refusing to kneel in support of Black Lives Matter, has received a $100,000 settlement agreement. Kirsten Henning is receiving the money from her head coach as part of an agreement to dismiss a federal lawsuit that alleged her First Amendment rights were violated. The Roanoke Times spoke to one of Henning's attorneys, Cameron Norris, who said the settlement included no admission of wrongdoing by either his client or Charles Adair, the coach in question. Henning, is it Henning? Yeah, Henning claimed that Adair removed her from the starter position when she refused to kneel during a unity ceremony at the start of 2020. Okay, we get it. She won. I'm going to talk to you guys about this because this one's grinding my gears. She won. Look at that smile on her face in that photograph. That's a smile of $100,000. But let's be real. It could be the end of her career. Is $100,000 worth it? Over the past past couple of weeks, actually past several months, it's been a long time, more and more professional skateboarders have been speaking up to me and saying that the industry has gone woke. It's apocalyptically bad. And they don't know if they want to be involved anymore, or what to do or how to deal with it because they don't make a lot of money. You know, this Virginia Tech soccer player, she had a lot to lose, let me tell you. Virginia Tech. I don't know what skill level this woman's at. I don't know. But you go from college, you go to the big leagues, you go to the Olympics. If she really did have her career ended because of something like this, or put her career at risk by refusing to take a knee, she could be losing millions of dollars. Now, for women's major league sports, it's probably not as much. Men tend to make a lot more. But I've been talking to a bunch of skateboarders over the past couple of years. And I'm not going to name anybody because I don't want to force someone to stand up for what they believe in. They have to do it themselves. I just wish they would. There's a handful who do. Follow me on Instagram. You'll see exactly who is. They are outspoken. I'm a big fan. I grew up skateboarding. But I saw this story and I was inspired, and I need you too to believe that you can win. I don't know where this goes with this woman, Kirsten Henning, but I'm glad to see that she was victorious in standing up for what she believed in for this country, despite the negative consequences. Here's the interesting thing. Skateboarders are some of the quickest to bow down in shame beneath the boot of wokeness. And it's for two reasons. They have just enough to lose. They're scared of losing. And they don't make enough to say F you. It's fascinating. I was talking to some pros, and pro skateboarders don't make a lot of money. Maybe they make $50K a year. There are some pros that are ultra famous that are millionaires, of course, but that's few and far between. Skateboarding is an industry where, for the most part, you make money off other skateboarders who tend to be broke. It's not the same as football where you're doing, Wheaties boxes and the cover of video games and stuff. The culture just isn't big enough. So when someone has no retirement plan, no health insurance, and they only get paid $40,000 a year, despite having hundreds of thousands of followers, they say to themselves, I can't lose this. It's literally all I have. I can't go work at a theater. I can't go work at a Silicon Valley company. I don't have those skills. What I have is I grew up skateboarding. I'm good at skateboarding and I'm making money and I got to keep my head down. The interesting thing about it is there are other sports, rollerblading, for instance, they got nothing to lose. You can't take away what they don't have. So I've found that many of these athletes have no problem speaking out, but skateboarders have just enough to where they would rather be indentured servants chained to the neck, marching behind the cult of wokeness. You can win. Many athletes have won, but more importantly, do you know why this woman, Kirsten Henning, won? She didn't win because she got cash. She won because she said, I know what I believe. I know what I'm willing to do. Quote, Kirsten Henning was benched for her free speech, and you paying a giant settlement proves it. Mortara continued, we would like to thank you and your bosses at Tech for paying the equivalent of several years of tuition. Henning's suit originally sought for her to be reinstated on the team, but she has since graduated and is not eligible. Will she keep playing? I don't know. Not everybody who goes to college and plays sports expects to go major leagues or go Olympic. But this is where we're at right now, and it's time to make a change. It's time to stand up and say no. And this is my shout out to all of you. You know, look, I skateboard. I skateboard quite a bit. I started rollerblading a couple of years ago. I'll tell you why. Because the skateboard industry is full of cowards. I'm sorry, that's just the reality. You'd think a dude willing to throw himself off of a 10-foot high, 20-foot long set of stairs with the board flipping under his feet, landing and maybe breaking himself to do it, and just to get a small paycheck, you'd think that person would have courage. You'd think. But they are terrified of the cult. Now, I get it. I understand why. But I'm not. I don't care. And so people come to me and say, it's easier for you to say, Tim, you know, you've got your own company. I have my own company in spite of all of this. I left those companies. I refused to play ball. I refused to bend the knee. I refused to take a knee. Quite literally. They want you to kneel. Oh. This woman said no. This Kirsten Henning said no. And she leaves school with $100,000. Hey, probably going to pay off her student loans if she has them. Maybe she was on a scholarship. Take a look at this. I mentioned this on Timcast IRL. The new Timcast Skate logo. Some people said Timcast Skate Company? That's stupid. That's a dumb name. And I'm like, you know, you're kind of right. So how about Redskins Skate Co? Here's the point. The image you are seeing, for those that did not understand it, is not an iron cross. It's a logo formerly of the company Independent. Quite literally, I took the Independent logo and I created a similar version. And but I'll say this. It was the Independent logo. It is no longer the Independent logo. They stopped using it. Redskins is no longer a trademarked name of a team. I'm sorry, they're the Washington Commanders. Now, I don't know if I would actually, to be completely honest, I wouldn't want to actually use the name Redskins. I personally don't like it. But I can understand why people would be upset that a longstanding team would drop the name. But I want to make this point because there's a difference here. You name your team the Washington Redskins, and some people are offended by it. Many people aren't. The iconic image, the mascot, the logo was the chief Native American, actually was granted to them. That's my understanding. And so my attitude is the fans like it. No one's really complaining. Why cave to a cult? At the same time, personally, I wouldn't want to use the name. I did this to make a point. I do, however, intend on using this logo. Maybe we won't call it Timcast Skate Co. Maybe we'll call it Canceled Skate Company. Independent used a rounded cross symbol for decades. They dropped it. Maybe you saw us talk about it on IRL. My point here is this. Seeing this woman stand up for what she believes in and get paid out and graduate and move on with their life, the rewards are there. Independent has this logo all over the world. They used to, at least. They no longer use it. They've removed it from all of their products. I say, good sir, if you do not want that, you are scared of the backlash and you think it's racist, I'll take it because it's not. We need more skateboarders to stand up. This is my shout out to them. More skateboarders need to come out, stand up for what they believe in. At the very least, just say, I don't care. Go away. Because what I've experienced, I went to the Hagerstown skate park opening. It was awesome. People were coming up, giving me fist bumps, shaking my hand. No issues there. I go to DC Freedom Plaza and apparently the skate scene, they're like, oh, Tim Pool was here. Ugh. Another stupid nonsense. So were a bunch of other people. Had fun, played skate. I did a fakey bigger flip. That's cool. I haven't done that one in a minute. So the fact that it's 540, the board spins a 540 and does a flip and you spin with it. It's fun. Did a bunch of other tricks. Had a good time. We're going to come back. We're going to go back next week. And I've had people saying to me, aren't you scared? Isn't it dangerous? We are going to go to DC's Freedom Plaza next Saturday unless it rains. This is funny. I did a poll and I said, should we go to DC's Freedom Plaza and do a big skate jam and meet and greet? And they did a poll and I said, I will abide by the results of this poll. And it's like 70% yes, 30% no. And my idea was that maybe some like leftist skateboarders are going to be like, don't come here. And then they would start sharing it around and they'd say no. And I'd say, okay, hey. But everybody said yes. Okay. So we're going to do it. And there are people saying, aren't you scared? It's dangerous. And I'm like, my friends, I will not ask you to do something I would be unwilling to do, despite the swats, the swattings, despite the death threats, despite all of that. For me to ask you to stand up for what you believe in, despite the fact that you could lose your job, if you really think it's dangerous for me to go out and announce in 1 week where I will be at DC's Freedom Plaza, then so be it. I will be there. And you know what? I'll bring friends. We're going to bring the boys. We're going to get a big crew together and we're going to skate, mind our own business, and have fun. And if you end up being in DC or in the area and you want to come skate with us, it may get a bit crowded, but that's all we're really going to do. Now, here's what I really fear. I really fear that like 1,000 skateboarders will show up and we won't be able to actually skate and it get too crowded. And the cops are going to be like, guys, there's too many people here. I just want to skate. I had a good time there. I rode around. I did the nollie hard cancel flip in a game of skate with this dude. And then he was like, oh man, this is such a crazy flip trick. How can you even do it? And I'm like having a good time. I was goofing off. Did a little nollie frontside nose tap 270 on a curb. I was just chilling. And the fact that there are people who are trying to claim that there was anything weird about me having been there, and that's my point. Like apparently at some other skate parks, there's like, you know, because I have friends who skate in the area, they're like, oh yeah, people are talking about how you showed up. And I'm like, what do you mean they're talking? Like, I showed up to skate parks all the time. We go skating often. We go to Catoctin Skate Park all the time. How is this an issue? Oh, because it's DC and there's far left weirdos who hang around and they got mad about it. Stop being scared. Do not fear these people. I'm going to bring, if Taylor Silverman wants to come, we're going to bring Taylor Silverman. She's the female skateboarder. She spoke up about biological males competing in female sports, and we're gonna do exactly what I ask others to do, and we're gonna do what Kirsten Henning was willing to do, speaking up for what she believes in, saying, "I ain't kneeling. I'm not bending the knee to you." That's inspirational. And I saw this, and I said, I'm tired of living this way. Maybe for me, it's more dangerous than it is for you. I don't know. Maybe you have kids. You speak up and say, look, I just don't agree and I don't want to be involved in this anymore. And then you get fired. Maybe you're a skateboarder and you say, you know what, man, I'm not down with this woke stuff. And then all your sponsors drop you and you lost what little money you had. Okay. Do you think my physical safety is at question if I announce a week in advance where I'll be and then go out into public and just skate? If you do, I want you to recognize I don't live in fear. Let them come. I'm not going to let anybody tell me what I can or can't do. You do not scare me. You know, when I go and skate and I get people being like, oh, are you sure? Like you should tell people, I'll tweet a picture of me skating here. Come hang out. Yo, I walk around all the time. I'm not going to live that way. I will never live that way. There are a lot of celebrities that live that way. Nah, not me. I'm not going to live that way. There are a lot of people who are like, well, you know, we have security threats. I'm not going to live that way. We're going to take moderate security precautions. I'm not stupid, but I'm also not scared. And we're going to bring our friends out. We're going to hopefully I can get some scooter guys. Hopefully I can get some bladers and some boarders. And we're all going to hang out and hold hands, all different disciplines, swinging back and forth, singing our song under the sun. Just here to have a good time, relax on a Saturday. Now, it might rain. So I tweeted the poll. And then I looked at the weather and it says rain is forecast. And I was like, okay, if it rains, we'll push it back 1 week. And people are like trying to back out, Tim. I'm like, no, we can't skate in the rain, dude. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Maybe start putting out some shorter segments to go along on this channel because they're there. And if I can, I will. Shout out, man. Kirsten Henning, awesome story. Like, seriously awesome. Glad she got the money she deserved. Glad she stood up for what she believed in. Inspirational stuff. I want to inspire people as well. So I hope to see you there next Saturday at DC's Freedom Plaza. There's a good chance we're going to have a whole lot of fun. That's about it. We'll get a bunch of people and we're not, there's no politics. I'm not going there to say vote for anybody. I'm not going there to assert anything about anything other than let's play a game of skate. Let's do this. Let's have a big game of skate contest on Saturday. I'll bring a big fake check for $1,000. Winner gets $1,000. Okay, I'm gonna say I'm half joking. I don't actually know that we're capable of doing anything like that. What I can say is, show up. DC's Freedom Plaza, Saturday. If it's not raining, 10 a.m. Hopefully it's not too cold. I'll be cruising around. It'll be fun. We'll see you there. Because I want to stand up for what I believe in. I hope you do too. All right. Thanks for watching this segment. We got more coming, and I will see you all in a few minutes. We're going to do more segments on this channel. Adios.